welcome back. It's your girl Katie here. So today I have my Colourpop order here, and what I ended up buying is I did go ahead and buy some of the collection from their latest launch. Was the Wild Things, I think is what it was called. So yeah, I'm just gonna be doing a first impressions of the products that I have in here, and just telling you guys my thought and whether or not I think it is worth the money. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so a couple of things before we dive into this, before I show you everything. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got a new background here, and that is because, I don't know if you guys saw in my latest videos, but I talked about it, that I was moving, and I have currently moved now. So I'm in a new place now, so that's why my background is very different. And if it's echoey in this video, I haven't got a lot in this room yet, aside from just my filming setup, so it might sound a little echoey because it's not, the room doesn't have a lot in it yet. And also, I don't know if you guys can hear the fan. I hope not. I have a fan going in here because it's hot. But aside from that, I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know if this will be my forever setup. I probably will constantly change it. I don't know. I'm liking it so far, but it's not exactly what I want. Alright, so I didn't buy the whole collection just because a lot of it was cute and everything. It's just I didn't want the whole collection. So I only ended up picking up 3 products. So I picked up 2 of their pressed blushes, and here they are in the boxes. I really like the packaging. It's very pretty. I love the cactuses on the boxes. So I got 2 blushes, and then I of course got the palette as well. And the palette packaging is just as cute as the blushes. Alright, so I'm gonna unbox everything, get it out of its packaging, and I will do swatches of everything. Probably not swatches of like the whole palette because I will be trying this stuff on today. But I'll do a couple of swatches. But I will do swatches of the blush. Alright, so this one is On the Horizon, is the shade name. There it is. It's a very pretty, like, pinky blush. It does have some glitter in it. There it is. So again, that was On the Horizon. I really like the packaging. I don't know. I like cactuses. Alright, so next one is called Crossroads. Again, same packaging. And the blushes, if you don't know prices, the blushes are $10 each, which I don't think is a bad price considering how big, you know, it's a pretty good size, pan size, I think. You know, it's not thick, so I mean, but it is a pretty good size pan. And this one's more like a kind of like mauve-y, brownish. I don't really know what shade I would call that. There are the 2 of them swatched. I'm excited to try them. You guys know me, I'm a big fan of Colourpop, so I'm sure I'm gonna like these. I guess it's kind of got more of a peachy undertone to it now that I'm looking at it like on my wrist. And they both seem to have a kind of shimmer in them, which I'm not a big fan of shimmer, but as long as it's not like overwhelming shimmer on the face. You guys hear my dog snoring, he's in here with me. Now for the actual palette. The packaging on the palette is the same as the box. It doesn't have a mirror in it, but that doesn't really bug me. I'm gonna turn my lights down just a little bit so you guys can see the palette, because it's my lights are very blinding. But there they are. There's the shades. Very neutral palette, but I like neutrals. Alright, so I am going to swatch some of the shadows. I think I'm going to do 2 shimmers and 2 mattes. So I'm going to swatch that green, which is in the shade Seashell. Then we got Alka, which is like a pinkier one. I guess it's kind of like peachy. I can't see what I'm doing. Hold on, guys. They're very pretty. I hope you guys can see it. Alright, and then I'll do a couple of mattes. It's very neutral, so I'll do Come Together. They all feel really nice. And Morningside. There is quite a bit like kickback though. Alright, and I'll swatch them. They feel nice though. So for the palette, it was $18, which I don't think is a bad price for a palette. That's pretty standard for Colourpop. I think the smaller ones are like $12, but this one is a 12 pan, so I think that's pretty standard for the 12 pans. I think, I don't know, but again, $18, not too bad. All right, let's get on into the trying on part now. I think I'm gonna zoom you guys in a bit, just so you guys can see the application of everything a little bit better. That way, so you're not so far away from me. But I'm gonna go ahead and put some blush on. I may just go ahead and put both blushes on. I think I'm gonna go in first with this one, which is the Crossroads one, and kind of do like a light application, like right over here, and then I'll do the pink more towards the center. Again, there is quite a bit of kickback just from me dipping my brush in. There's kickback. That doesn't bug me again like too much, but it might to others. It's a very pretty shade. I could almost see myself using this as a contour or like a bronzing shade, because it is kind of like that more brownish like shade to it, but it is really pretty. But yeah, I could use this as like a topper on my bronzer. But it's very pigmented, and it does have like a golden kind of like, I can see little specks of gold in it, so it does kind of have like a shimmer to it, but it's not too bad. I could probably honestly have gone in a little lighter. Alright, so that one's on, so now I'm gonna go in. Gonna dust my brush off real quick. Alright, and now I'm gonna go in with this one, which again is on the horizon. This is more the pinkier one, and I'm gonna place it more towards like the apples of my cheeks, or wherever you call this, more the center of my cheeks. Again, this one does have quite a bit of kickback. Ooh, I like this one. I mean, I like the other one too, but this one, I like more pinkier blushes. But again, I can see the shimmer. It's making my cheeks a little golden. It's gonna make you look very glowy, basically. I don't know, I'd say that this is very like heavy on the gold shimmer. I mean, maybe on camera it looks a little bit better, but maybe I guess from afar I do see the pink, but when I get up close, it might be just because of the lights too. I just see gold, basically. But I think on camera I can see it pretty well. Just it is very glowy, which I don't know. I think I like that. At first I wasn't for sure I'd like that, but I think I am. But just as a warning, if you don't like gold flakes or gold shimmer, this one is very heavy on the shimmer. I guess that would be kind of perfect, because I think this is kind of supposed to be more for like a summery look, and it does make me feel very summery. My dog is snoring so loud. But yeah, I think it is actually really pretty. All right, so blush is on, so let's move to the palette, which I'm pretty excited to try out. Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I don't know yet. All right, so I think I'm gonna go into this shade here, which is Vega Bound. And I'm gonna use this one as my transition shade. Now that I'm like actually dipping my brush into it and not my fingertip, it doesn't seem to have as much kickback, or at least the shade that I'm dipping into, Vega Bound, doesn't. So that's good. I'd say this one's like a very cool tone brown, which I like those as like a transition. So far, super pretty pigmented and super easy to blend. And all I did to prime my lids before this was just put some concealer and then kind of set my eyelids with just some setting powder. All right, so I think I'm gonna go into this like orangey peach shade over here. It's more like a coral actually. It's called Morning Side, and I'm gonna go over everything I just did with that shade right there. Now, the Morning Side got a lot of kickback. Ooh, that's a lot. I don't know why it's not so much kickback. Ooh, but it's a pretty shade though. See, because look guys, I'm just putting a little bit, I'm just barely dipping in to it, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but quite a bit came off. But I do really like that shade there though. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with a bit of a smaller brush, and I'm going to go into the shade No Bounds over here, this dark brown, and I'm going to put that on the little corners. Again, it has a little bit of kickback. Now with the darker shades like that, I like to pack it on. I don't really blend it out because I find that with these darker browns and such, when you start to buff it out, it just kind of loses its pigmentation. It just kind of becomes like a lighter brown. So this is how I always do it to get that deep color, just kind of pat it on almost. Not really like, not buffing, just packing. And I just keep going over that until it's how I want it. I kind of want to go in with the green, but I don't know if that's going to look weird. Let's do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in with that seashell shade, the green called Seashell. It's a very pretty shade. This is, I feel like, one of those shades that's a little chunky, like me applying it, shimmers kind of, not really falling down here, but it is like going into my eyelashes. I keep having to pull them out. And I might have a little fallout, but not bad. Alright, and then just going back in with that small brush, I'm going to go back into that dark brown and just kind of deepen up the corners again, because I did get a little shimmer over there. Alright, and then I'm going to go into this shade over here, which is Sultan, and I'm going to put that like in the inner corners of the lid. Ooh, that one is like very creamy. It almost feels like one of their super sharp shadows. Oh, I like that. It's kind of like goldenish. They also had some pretty lip oils, which I didn't get, that I kind of wish I had, which if they restock the bundle of the lip things, I might grab those later on. I don't know, at the time I was not really feeling the oily looking lip, I don't know, look. I didn't really like the juicy, glossy look at the moment. And I still am not a big fan of it. I like a little bit of gloss, but I don't like dripping wet. And like the actual, like the pictures of the models, they looked really like juicy lips, which is, you know, if you like that look, then that's fine. But also then I saw reviews on YouTube of them, and they didn't really, like when they put them on, they didn't look overly glossy. It was just normal glossy look. So I am kind of curious to try them out, and I probably will later on, just I didn't buy them this time. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my eyes off camera. I'm just going to buff some shadow onto underneath the eyes, put some eyeliner on and mascara, and put some highlight on. And then I will be right back and give you guys my final thoughts. Alright, I'm back. Face is complete. So, final thoughts. Do I think this stuff is worth the money? Yeah, I actually do. And I'll tell you why. You know, I think Colourpop has really good products considering the price. I mean, like I said, these blushes are only $10 each. I mean, you don't have to get 2 of them, or you know, you don't have to get all 3 of the blushes, because there is a third one, but it was already sold out, so I didn't get that one. Or it was sold out when I had bought these. Colourpop to me is like a middle between a drugstore and a higher end. They're like the medium between drugstore and higher end, because like their pricing could be considered drugstore, but I don't think that I've ever paid $10 for a blush in like drugstore. And I definitely never paid that much for higher end, because higher end is always much more than that. So they're like they're in the middle. So, you know, you definitely don't probably need both. I mean, unless you just want them. For me personally, I will probably get more use out of the pinkier one, which is on the horizon, just because this is more of my type of shade range. Like, I prefer more of the pinkier blushes, but I do like the other one. It's just I could see myself using the other one more. So I would have just been just as happy with just the pinkier one, but this one is very pretty, and it might be better for maybe darker skin tones. I don't really know. I'm not experienced with darker skin tones. I've never done makeup on anybody else but myself, so I'm just going off of my own experiences. But this one I really did like putting on top of my bronzer here. Kind of just added a little more. But this one might be actually really good for fall. So I'll be playing around with both of them for more. So like again, at $10 each, I don't think that's bad at all for blush. And like I said, the pan sizes were pretty good size. And for the actual palette, $18 I think is very affordable for a palette. The quality is really good. Like I said, there was quite a bit of kickback, but kickback doesn't really bug me, and it wasn't like a couple of dips in and half the pan's gone, you know. You can tell which shades I use, but I mean, I didn't waste a lot of product, so to say. Yeah, I really like the look. I mean, did I need this palette? No. But I am glad to have it now in my collection, because I will be using this quite a bit, because again, this is a very neutral palette. People might be tired of them, but I love neutral palettes, so I know that I will pretty much probably use almost every shade in this whole like palette. Whereas in other palettes, if there's some brighter colors, I'm not as likely to use those, just because they're not, I don't know, I prefer neutrals, like I said. But I think this is definitely worth the $18. These 2 shimmers here are very kind of chunky, these 2. I'm not sure, like, if it's just the way they blended it, but I think the glitter in it is chunkier. Whereas these two down here, these ones are very creamy. So I think it's just a different way they, I don't know the formula. Maybe the formula is a little different. I know Colourpop does have like different formulas when it comes to their eyeshadows. So, but just so you guys know, these two are kind of chunkier. But they're still really pretty. I mean, I really like how the look turned out. It's just, it feels, and it even looks a little gritty. I don't know if you guys can tell. But overall, I'm very happy with what I got. And they had a lot more to the collection. I know they had like single pan shadows, like, I don't know the actual name of them, but they had like single shadows like in little pots or something, which I'm just not a fan of single shadows. I prefer like an actual palette, so that's why I didn't get those. And it seems like there was something else that they had, but I don't remember. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked my review / first impressions of the Wild Nothing, I guess is what it's called. I think I called it Wild Thing, but it's called Wild Nothing. I don't really remember what the name is. I'm just going to call it Wild Nothing because that's what it says on the palette. But the actual, like, other packaging doesn't have names, just says a pressed cheek powder. So the Wild Nothing, or the Wild collection here. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up so that I know that you like seeing these types of videos. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my future uploads. I've been trying to post twice a week. Hopefully I can stick to that. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!